Hello and welcome to blog number 5. In this blog I talk about the Party Wall Act. I try and keep it as basic and simple as possible. However, it's very important you give this consideration, assuming you may have a party wall issue. To identify whether you've got a party wall issue, any competent builder, architect, engineer will be able to advise you to say you have a party wall matter. I hope you enjoyed this blog, and again, any questions, comments, by all means ask away and I will try and reply. All the best. Bye.
Blog 5, Love Thy Neighbour, dealing with party wall issues and appointing a party wall surveyor. There is a professional consultant for everything in the building industry. I do question some consultant roles. I remember once having lunch with a Zen consultant and she was explaining to me about Zen and vibes. I found the subject interesting if I am honest, but I did not feel the energy he was promoting and the Zen in your project, plus their fee is £5,000 to bring Zen into your project. Party wall legislation is a great statute that government brought in. Just clearing my throat and enacted into law in 1997 and is what I would describe as good legislation, as prior to this it was like anarchy and the Wild West in regards to damage and claims caused to adjoining properties, and indeed frivolous claims being made against people developing their own homes buildings without causing any damage to adjoining properties but still manage to bag a claim against them. The principle is simple: undertake your works but don't damage my property. That being said, this has now become very complex, as typical of government legislation. They create legislation written by lawyers and professionals, and then people seeking to apply them need to try and interpret the legislation. Just as a side note, and I often see this word in law, where words like reasonable is inserted, is a very unfair legal definition to use, as reasonable to one may be unreasonable to another. That's me moaning. Enough of that, Brad. Back to party walls. The one issue I have with this act is the abuse by neighbours whom expect you to improve their property and take advantage of the opportunity. May it be better foundations to their property, new paving, new fencing, new landscaping, thermal improvements, etc., to name a few. However, you must, if a party wall issue is identified, appoint a party wall surveyor. I have dealt with projects in the past with the once most friendliest of neighbours, and verbal agreements are made for the neighbours only to fall out during the project or even post the project for a variety of reasons, and it's because it becomes a real problem when you actually on site. I recall a small project which involved a boundary garden wall, which is a 215 mm wide wall, approximately 5 meters long, about 1,200 mm high. This led to an insurance claim by the neighbour of just over £17,000. There was no party wall agreement in place. However, the neighbour claimed under the Party Wall Act. Just shows how messy things can get. Let me explain about party wall surveyors do and also things to consider. This is not an exhaustive list, but I think I have written down as much as I can at this juncture. A party wall surveyor is a professional who can help you resolve any disputes or issues related to party walls, boundary walls, and excavations near neighbouring buildings. If you are planning to carry out any work that falls under the party wall, etc. Act 1996, you should consider the following factors when appointing a party wall surveyor. The surveyor should be a member of a reputable professional organisation, such as the Faculty of Party Wall Surveyors or the Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors, which promote high standards of conduct and expertise in party wall matters. The surveyor should have relevant experience and knowledge in administering the Act and dealing with different types of party wall situations and scenarios. The surveyor should be impartial and independent, and not have any personal or financial interest in the outcome of the dispute. You cannot act as your own surveyor. The surveyor should be able to communicate effectively and clearly with you and the other parties involved, and provide you with a written party wall award that outlines the agreed terms and conditions of the work. The surveyor should charge reasonable and transparent fees for their services, and provide you with a breakdown of the costs and how they are calculated. You can appoint a surveyor together with the adjoining owner or owners, or each appoint your own surveyor. The surveyors will then agree on a third surveyor to act as an arbitrator in case of any disputes. Alternatively, you can appoint a single agreed surveyor to act for both parties, which may save time and money. But you should only do this if you trust the surveyor and the other party agrees. I am now off to cook cottage pie. Warm regards. Brad. I don't really have a joke about party wall surveyors, so I called one and asked him if he had any jokes, and this is what his joke was: I got a job at a paperless office. Everything was great until I needed to use the bathroom.